Hello, my name is Callista, and welcome back to Dragon Age Origins. In the last episode, we finally woke Arl Eamon up. The ashes worked, he is alive and well, and he has offered to take us to Denerim. However, before we do that, no, not inventory, we want our journal. We had at least one new codex entry. Only the one, okay. Arl Eamon Qwinn. Nobility does not exist without obligation. We owe all we have, even our lives, to our land and our people. As the maternal uncle of King Qwinn, Arl Eamon is one of the king's most trusted advisors. Redcliffe, while not a large or especially wealthy part of Ferelden, is a critical strategic location. The fortress guards the western pass that leads to Orlais, as well as the major trade route with Orzammar. A well-respected man, though not the most charismatic. King Qwinn once said of him, "My Uncle Eamon is a man everyone thinks well of, when they remember to think of him at all." He fell ill with a mysterious condition that even magic could not treat. It was no common ailment. Eamon was poisoned by a blood mage, Qwinn, who claimed to be working for Loghain. The Arl's life was saved only by the most extraordinary measures, finding the urn of sacred ashes, the remains of Andraste herself. There we go. Now then.
When you're ready, we shall leave for Denerim.
Let's go to Denerim now.
Excellent. I shall make the arrangements. Let us be off to Denerim, and may the Maker watch over us.
Indeed. Oh, we've finally entered the final third. Oh my goodness. Game. There we go.
Denerim is the heart and soul of Ferelden. It was the city of King Calenhad, the birthplace of Andraste. As stubborn as a Mabari, and as good to have on your side. If we defeat Loghain here, the rest of the nation will follow us. By calling the Landsmeet, I've struck the first blow. The advantage, for the moment, is ours. He will have little choice but to show himself, to oppose us directly. He will strike back at us. The only question that remains is how soon. Loghain, this is an honor that the Regent would find time to greet me personally.
How could I not welcome a man so important as to call every lord in Ferelden away from his estates, while a blight claws at our land?
The blight is why I'm here. With Qwinn dead, Ferelden must have a king to lead it against the Darkspawn.
Ferelden has a strong leader. It's Qwinn, and I lead her armies.
Considering Ostagar, perhaps we need a better general. If Anora rules, let her speak for herself. The throne belongs to Marik's only living son. Yeah, so I feel like Loghain's plan, in the immediate, he names himself he names himself her regent, just because there's going to be uproar, and Nora's a diplomat, she's not a fighter, and I think Loghain's thinking we need to put down any dissenters with military force, and then once everything is stable again, I step down as regent, Anora is queen. And I think that was his plan, but then it turns out, oh shit, no, Qwinn was actually right, this is a blight, everything's falling apart, and to be honest, I think that's the only reason why he's still the regent. Not number one. Now is not the time for slinging mud. And if I'm being honest, everything Artin has heard about Anora is that she was a very competent queen. I'm not going to get into if she actually was competent or not. But as, Artin is from a different country. Everyone has told her Anora ruled Ferelden. Qwinn dicked about, playing with soldiers, but Anora was the power behind the throne, and she was incredibly competent. If Anora rules, let her speak for herself.
Ah, the Grey Warden recruit. I thought we might meet again. You have my sympathies on what happened to your order. It is unfortunate that they chose to turn against Ferelden.
Enough of this. When does the Landsmeet begin? Bless me. Oh my goodness. I hope I remember to cut that out. I don't accept the sympathies of deserters and regicides. Oh, I have come to reveal your crimes. No, we haven't. If I'm being honest, I think Artin can understand why he did what he did at Ostagar. Because Ostagar, bearing in mind, Artin was raised, she was a commander in the army. She was a high-ranking military person. I think Artin knows that Ostagar was not a winnable fight. It really wasn't, even if, Kaelan has his forces on the front, the Darkspawn charge, and then Loghain brings his forces into flank. All that would have accomplished would be that we have no army to fight the Darkspawn. So, yeah, it was a dick move, but at the same time, at least Loghain still has his army. At least we still have that to fight the Darkspawn. I'm umming and ahhing between 1 and 2. I mentioned that number 2 is such a good line. That's why it's such a good line, but here's the thing. I've mentioned before, Artin doesn't have anything against deserters if you're deserting for a good reason. Ostagar was not winnable. Loghain did protect his men. There are countless men and women who are alive today who would have died but for Loghain doing what he did. I can't pick it. I can't in good conscience pick it, even though I really want to. Yeah, he's slinging mud. It's unfortunate that they chose to turn against Ferelden. Turn the other cheek. Enough of this. When does the Landsmeet begin?
Don't interrupt, Churl. Your betters are talking.
Enough, Carthrian. This is not the time or place. I had hoped to talk you down from this rash course, Eamon. Our people are frightened. Our king is dead. Our land is under siege. We must be united now if we are to endure this crisis. Your own sister, Queen Rowan, fought tirelessly to see Ferelden restored. Would you see her work destroyed? You divide our nation and weaken our efforts against the Blight, with your selfish ambitions to the throne.
You're the one who divided Ferelden. What efforts can there be when you outlaw the Grey Wardens? If you truly want to save this land, stand with us. I agree with Loghain there. Eamon wants the throne. He'll never have the throne, but with Alistair, because Alistair is... When I say weak, I love Alistair. I adore him as a character, but what I mean, Alistair's very unsure of himself. Alistair is going to be looking to people for confirmation and am I doing the right thing? And who's he going to look for? He's going to look at Arl Eamon for that. Kaelan wouldn't. Kaelan was too stubborn and sure of himself, and Anora controlled the throne. Anora would never ask Eamon for advice. She'd ask her father. So with Alistair on the throne, Eamon gets a whole lot more powerful. What efforts can there be when you outlaw the Grey Wardens?
Kaelan depended on the Grey Warden's prowess against the Darkspawn, and look how well that ended. Let us speak of reality rather than tall tales. Stories will not save us.
I cannot forgive what you've done, Loghain. Perhaps the Maker can, but not I. Our people deserve a king of the Therin bloodline. Alistair will be the one to lead us to victory in this blight.
Oh, is that all I have to do? No pressure.
The Emperor of Orlais also thought I could not bring him down. Expect no more mercy than I showed him. There is nothing I would not do for my homeland.
Well, that was bracing. I didn't expect Loghain to show himself quite so soon.
What do we do now? Why is he doing this? Have you known Loghain a long time? Ooh. I don't think we've actually spoken to anyone that has known Loghain for a long... Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I think Artin would ask that. Have you known Loghain a long time?
My sister married King Merrick while he was still in exile. At that time, he and Loghain were inseparable. The wild prince who'd never seen the inside of a castle and the farmer's son. When Loghain joined Merrick's rebels, he was just a raw-boned boy, but he got on one knee to swear that he would see Ferelden free or die trying.
What do we do now? You sound like you admire him, and now he kills Merrick's son and steals his throne. What were they rebelling against? They were rebelling against the Orlesians. Artin knows that. And again... I'm a little bit conflicted with how much Artin thinks and what I think, because I don't think Loghain ever intended to steal his throne. I've said this literally, I think maybe 10 minutes ago. I think Loghain, it was like only a temporary thing, just in the immediate, for all of the shit going down. He was going to name himself regent, and then once everything was calm, Anora can step in and she can be the queen. She can be the excellent queen that everyone says she is. But it's just the fact that, oh shit, there was a blight. Again, I don't know what Artin thinks here. Artin doesn't have anything against Loghain. Artin doesn't know what I know. At the same time, Anora is his daughter. Why would you steal the throne from your own daughter? Artin has never met Anora. Artin does not know what the relationship between Loghain and Anora is. Oh, it's between 2 or 3. It is between 2 or 3. You sound like you admire him.
He made us a free people once more. You can't know what it was like to grow up as a vassal in your own land, while poncy little Orlesians minced around in their silks. I would never have believed he would do anything but what was best for Ferelden. We need eyes and ears in the city. Loghain has been here for months. The roots of all his schemes must begin here. The sooner we find them, the better we can turn them to our advantage. Go have a look around, and see what you can turn up. Better yet, find the nobles who have arrived for the Landsmeet. Test the waters. See how many will support us. When you're ready to talk strategy, come upstairs to my sitting room. We can lay out our plans for the Landsmeet then.
Excellent. Oh, and more codex entries. I'm so excited for this. I'm so excited for this because this is Artin's arena, politics, and I just imagine her standing there breathing it in like, yes, scheming. Okay, Castle Highever has stood since the Divine Age, when it was not an independent Bannorn, but merely an outpost of the growing Bannorn of Amaranthine, in the days before Amaranthine became an Arling itself. The outpost of Highever was originally held by the Elston family, cousins of the Howes. In the Age of Towers, however, Ban Conabar Elston was murdered by his wife, Flemeth, thus ending the bloodline. Conabar's captain of the guard, Sarim Kuzland, took the lands and title. The Kuzlands declared their independence from Amaranthine, starting a war that lasted 30 years. When the dust settled, Highever was on its own, and in possession of half the land that had once been southwestern Amaranthine. High Ever became a Tyrnir during the Black Age, when Qwinn gathered the lords together under her banner to drive the werewolves out of their lands, earning herself the title of Tyrnir. Almost after... oh my god, I have had such problems with this paragraph. I'm going to start this again. High Ever became a Tyrnir during the Black Age, when Qwinn gathered the lords together under her banner to drive the werewolves out of their lands, earning herself the title of Tyrnir almost as an afterthought. There we go, that wasn't so hard. Today, High Ever is one of the only 2 remaining Tyrnirs, making the Qwinn family second in rank only to the king. Arl of Amaranthine was named the new Turn of High Ever under somewhat questionable circumstances, and the fate of the Qwinn family is now uncertain. From Ferelden Folklore and History by Sister Patrine, Chantry Scholar. Very suspicious. Oh, here we are. We're in Denerim. We're in Denerim finally. So I did mention that I was going to have another session of party camp talks, and well, this isn't exactly party camp, but it'll do. Shale.
Everything in here appears to be breakable. It seems most impractical.
You're still with me, I see. I have some questions. Never mind. I have some questions.
It doesn't have better things to do.
Let's move on.
On then.
On. We've still no new dialogue options with certain people. Oh, that makes me sad. Okay, let's see. Okay. We'll start down here. Now then, Qwinn.
This is a nice estate, isn't it? What's on your mind?
I'd like to ask you something about the Circle.
I will answer to the best of my ability.
Nothing right now. Oh my god. Oghren? Oghren, please tell me you have stuff. Oh my...
Right here, old pal.
The fucking chair! The fucking chair! I guess the chair is involved in the conversation now. You're still upset about Bronca, aren't you? I'd like to know more about you. Tell me about Berserkers. I'd like you to leave. Actually, never mind. You're still upset about Bronca, aren't you?
Well, what do you think? I mean, she was my wife. I spent 2 years trying to save her while she was off boffing that tramp and feeding my cousins to the Darkspawn. And now she's dead, and there's no way to ever make things better.
In time, you'll remember the good parts, not the bad. Oh, stop crying about it. If there's any way I can help, let me know. Under normal circumstances, Artin would say number 3, but I think Artin is very worried. What if he asks me to touch his penis? Because I'm not willing to do that. I guess that leaves me with number 1. In time, you'll remember the good parts, not the bad.
It's good to be with friends, you know. Or at least chest deep in fallen enemies. You want to get moving now? My throat's sore from all this relating.
Okay, now, can we get a better angle so that the chair is not in the way? There we go.
Right here, old pal.
I'd like to know more about you.
What about?
What is it like to be a warrior? What is it like to be a warrior in Orzammar?
You get a sword or an axe, and are told to go out and defend your city. It's the best thing in the world. That is until you try to live in the city you saved.
What do you mean? It seemed like a pretty easy place to... Oh god, no. No, Orzammar is not an easy place to live. As a noble, Artin knows that. As I mentioned, the reason why I think she's asking that question is that, bearing in mind that Paragon Iduken, the man who founded her house, was warrior caste. And so I think maybe she's thinking, I wonder what life would have been like if he had never became a Paragon, if my family had instead just been warrior caste. So yeah, I think while she knows that Orzammar was not an easy place to live, for a noble, Why was it not an easy place to live for a warrior? What do you mean?
I mean, they train you to kill, teach you to harness your rage at the first noise you hear, then try to set 100 sodding rules about it. Like those provings. Ancestors show their favor through the strongest arm, right? So why so many rules saying how to fight and when you win and not to bloody kill? Killing's what swords are for.
Fighting without killing is the skill of a true warrior. I see what you mean. Why didn't they give you blunted weapons? I don't know the answer behind that, but Artin would. Yeah, I think Artin would agree with number 1. Fighting without killing is the skill of a true warrior.
Yeah, if that's how you feel, I'll try that out next time the Darkspawn are chewing on your leg. This makes me cranky. Don't you have any other inane questions?
Okay. Here's the thing though, Oghren. There's a difference between actual battle and a proving. Just like you wouldn't... It's why, wrestlers don't murder each other in the ring, because there's a difference between getting jumped whilst you're out on the street and entering a wrestling ring or a boxing ring, whatever. Do you feel homesick for Orzammar yet?
I do. A bit. A little bit.
Do you ever want to go back there? I bet I miss my home too. That place, Orzammar was Artin, you're from Orzammar. Orzammar is a grand place. I can see why you'd miss it. Oh, get over it, you homesick little baby. Here's the thing. Okay, so out of all of them, Artin agrees with number 4, but again, it's worded in like, oh, it's such a grand place. It's like, Artin, that's where you're from. You generally don't talk about places where you're from in that kind of way. Same with number 2. I miss my home too. Your home is his home. I'm gonna go with number 1. Just because it's worded the best. And also, I think that Artin has very conflicted feelings on whether she'd ever want to go back and live in Orzammar. Just after everything that's happened. And so I think she'd like to hear another dwarf's opinions. Do you ever want to go back there?
The only way I'd go back is if they all lined up to kiss my ass and didn't care if they lost their caste for doing it. Actually, that might be nice. But I can't go back now. I'd rather die than be casteless in Orzammar. I guess I'd rather be a useless lump of a dwarf out here than a useless lump of a dwarf back there.
I don't find you useless, Oghren. Maybe you could try not to be useless anywhere. That sounds like a fair outlook. I'd love to go back and live there someday. Oh. Okay, so as I said, Artin has some very conflicted feelings on whether she would like to go back and live in Orzammar, because she loves her home. She loves Orzammar. With every fibre of her being, she loves it. But at the same time, after what happened with Balin, after all of the feelings of putting him on the throne, I think she'd always feel a little bit dirty. If she went back and lived there, she'd feel unclean. Just the idea of everything my brother did, and he got away with it because I helped him. I put him on the throne. Effectively, he is the monster I made him to be. And that, it crushes her heart a little bit. So I think at this stage, she's kind of like, I'd go back to visit, but I don't think I could ever live there again, and that hurts. That hurts her to admit. Oh God, Oghren. Oghren isn't you. He does help in fights. And we're fighting the Blight. We don't want to be bringing him down. We want to be bringing him up. And whilst he does go down in fights, pretty often, really all the fucking time. We don't want to tell him that. I don't find you useless, Algren.
Nice of you, Warden, but I know what side of the house the Lou is on. Hey, let's go find something to kill, huh? All this talk makes my hands twitchy.
Okay, Algren. Okay, buddy. Nothing in here. Ooh, but where does this lead? Oh!
Taste this. Tell me if it's in need of any more spice.
Ooh, nice. Feast day fish. Fluffy mackerel pudding. Ugh. 2 stalks celery, 1 green pepper, half a pound of poached mackerel, 1 small onion, finely diced, 2 teaspoons or tablespoons of mustard, 1 teaspoon or tablespoon of salt, half a teaspoon, ground Antivan pepper, 1/8 teaspoon ground mace, dash ground cardamom seed, 2 eggs beaten, 2 eggs boiled and sliced for garnish. This book, found in Arl Eamon's estate, naturally falls open to this page. Ah, I'm guessing this is Arl Eamon's favourite food. I question that. A couple of cats. Okay, nice. We'll leave them be.
4 cups flour, 3 cups lard. Now bring it over, child, and be quick.
Wonder what they're making. No books in here. Just quickly want to check I didn't miss anything in here. No, I did not. Okie doke. Whoops. Oh, what am I hearing? Oh.
So many visitors, so many chamber pots to clean.
I think she was...
Keep tracking mud up here. It's going to take a month to get it all out.
Flippin' heck, this lady likes to talk. I think she was just kind of going on about how, apparently there's a prince amongst the visitors, and then, none of them look particularly princely to me.
It will be done.
A love letter. Is this our final love letter? Okay. We've read that one. A delicate matter. Billa's Butchers. Aha, this is it. Donegan. On pain of death, you are now warned. My father found the letters you previously sent and is watching as I write. Sorry, it's worded really weirdly, so don't STO. Don't stop, Patricia. Okay, I get it. Donegan, on pain of death, you are now warned. My father found the letters you previously sent and is watching as I write to tell you our relations are over. We must remain chaste. Patricia, but, capitalized, don't stop. Very clever. Nice, Patricia. Very nice. And characters. More for Arl Eamon. Flipping it. We literally just read this in the last episode, so I'll just do what we now got. His health restored, Eamon called a landsmeet with the goal of wresting power from Loghain and placing Alistair on the throne. Okay. Now then. Ooh. Yep, there we go. More books. An account of the Free Marches. The Free Marches are not a kingdom, nor even a nation in the most basic sense. People from that region dislike even being lumped together as marchers. Rather, they are a collection of independent city-states, united only when it suits them. In this respect, they resemble the Benorn before the arrival of King Callanhad. Because of this, the Free Marches have no capital, and what passes for central government exists only sporadically, a sort of landsmeet that convenes only during times of crisis. I arrived in time for the grand tourney while it was on in Tentervale. A remarkable sight indeed. I saw Avar hillsmen test their mettle against Orlesian chevaliers, riders from the Anderfels buying Navarran cavalry horses, Antivan craftsmen selling their wares to Tevinter mages. All of Thedas was on display. From In Pursuit of Knowledge, The Travels of a Chantry Scholar by Brother Genitivi. And what is this?
Of course.
History of Ferelden, Chapter 2. Oh, the Orlesian occupation, damn. The occupation was a dark blot on Ferelden's history. our people, who from time immemorial valued their freedom over all else, were forced to bow to Orlesian rule. Let me switch off my timer, I've only got 30 seconds left. Were forced to bow to Orlesian rule. The Empire declared our elves property and sold them like cattle. Chevaliers routinely plundered freeholds of coin, food, and even women and children, and excused it as taxation. And for 70 years, no landsmeets were held, for the imperial throne had declared our ancient laws a form of treason. King Brandel was one of those who escaped. He tried to organise the other fugitive lords to retake their land, but Brandel was neither clever nor persuasive, and the nobles preferred to take their chances alone. Ferelden might still be little more than a territory of the Empire were it not for the fact that his daughter had all the charisma that her royal father lacked. The rebel queen's rule began with a midnight attack on the Imperial armory at Lothering. It was swift and successful, and with their pilfered arms, the rebels began a campaign against the Orlesians in earnest. But the turning point of the war came when a young freeholder joined the Queen's army. The lad, Loghain MacTyr, possessed a remarkable talent for strategy, and quickly became the favourite advisor of young Prince Maric. The Queen finally died at the hands of Orlesian sympathisers, anxious to curry favour with their painted masters, and Maric took her place as the leader of the rebellion. Loghain became Maric's right hand. Maric and Loghain led the rebels in a new campaign against their Orlesian oppressors, culminating in the Battle of Riverdane, where the last Chevaliers in Denerim were crushed. With the capital once more in the hands of Fereldans, the battle to free our people was finally over. But the battle to rebuild what had been lost had only just begun. From Ferelden Folklore and History by Sister Patrine, Chantry Scholar. Yeah, this right here is why people are so willing to overlook what happened at Ostagar. Because 70 years of absolute horror at the hands of the Orlesians, and this is the man who stopped all of that. Without Loghain, Ferelden would still be under Orlesian control. Yes, Maric was the king. Maric was the prince, and he was kind of the figurehead, but Maric wasn't the one doing all the strategy. Maric wasn't the one organising the armies, that was Loghain. Without Loghain, the Orlesians would still be here. That's why he is such a hero. It's just very unfortunate. Eamon said earlier, I could never imagine Loghain doing anything other than what was best for Ferelden. And I truly believe that Loghain believes that this is what is best for Ferelden. I'm not going to sit here and say that I think that Loghain is completely innocent. I mean, I completely forget about this bit. The Empire declared our elves property and sold them like cattle because, the alienage. I'm just going to say that. Loghain is doing exactly what the Orlesians did. That's an incredibly shitty thing to do. And I'm not going to sit here and say that Loghain is innocent. As I said, I think that he wants to keep his daughter on the throne. I don't think he's doing any of this for personal power. To keep his family in power, yes. But for personal power, no. I do think at its core, Loghain truly believes he is doing what is best for Ferelden. Because Kaelin wanted to invite the Orlesian Wardens into Ferelden. And once you've invited some Orlesians, I mean, they're all going to come. Orlesians are like rats. Where there's one, there are 50. Though those are the thoughts of Loghain, not the Let's Player. Please do not mistake the two. And I think I mentioned this earlier. I think Loghain has gone a little bit fanatical in how much he wants to protect Ferelden. At this stage, Loghain and Ferelden have a kind of boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. The boyfriend says, hey, Ferelden, the world is really dangerous out there and I'm really worried for your safety, so I bought you a knife and I bought you some pepper spray, and if you'd be up for it, could we go down to my local gym and I'll sign you up for some self-defense classes? Would that be cool? And that in and of itself is fine, but Loghain has taken it to the point of like, whilst my girlfriend Ferelden is asleep, I'm gonna change the locks on the front door, and I'm not gonna give her a key because the only place I know for sure that is safe is inside this apartment. It's gotten to that stage. It's really gotten to that stage, and I love Loghain as a villain. I absolutely love him. Okay, so I have gone really rather over time. In the next episode, we will be finishing off talking to our companions and seeing what we want to do in Denerim. But until then, please remember to like if you enjoyed, leave a comment below, and if you wanted to subscribe, it would be very much appreciated. I've been Callista. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next episode.